Good morning from Snake Mountain Boat Works on Friday, November 4. Here she is, the 1946 bright Chris-Craft U22 with brand new chine frames, both port and starboard, fully installed and stabilized. We have provisionally painted all of the old frames, the bilge stringers, and once we get to the transom framing with Sandusky Chris-Craft Mahogany Red Bilge Paint. And I thought there'd be some particular interest in what a real scarf joint looks like in plate instead of those hideous butt joints. So as you can see, the scarf is 10 inches long with the new material epoxied to and screwed together with silicone bronze screws. Normally that is strong enough, but John and I tossed it around and decided that as long as we're here and we have the new scarf joint, if we added a block behind it that ran the full length between this frame and that frame and epoxied and screwed it in place, we would have a bomb-proof joint here. This, in fact, at this point, the chine frame is probably stronger than the original one. It is thicker. It is supported through this entire length, and we can see on the starboard side how we have fastened this additional block to the inside of the chine frame. One additional detail we must address before we close up the bottom is the mounting blocks, the mounting system for the steering box. While I was painting the other day, I grabbed onto the steering box and exclaimed, "Whoa! This piece that extends back to here, which does not look to be original, supports the steering box, and as you can see, it is, and we can see actually better from the other side, it is split. It is come loose and at least needs to be tightened, but the proper way to repair this, and is the one we will be using, is to release this piece entirely, and then we will fabricate a new one out of a single piece of oak, not sort of mated chunks of oak, and we will extend the tail beneath this frame back to about here. That will give us a great deal more stability right here in the forward end of the bilge stringer, and then the steering box support. It's just a little bit tight in here. Snake Mountain Boat Works is working through a huge backlog of preservation projects, and at the moment the U22 will be sitting idle for a few days while we make some progress on some other projects. Now, you'll notice that John must sand a chamfer along the edge of the chine frame. He has started doing it on, sorry, it's just really a little tight in here. He has begun doing it on the starboard side. You can see where this now is just all on the same plane. We have fabricated and assembled everything together using a combination of 3M 5200 and epoxy. We have not put these intermediate pieces in place yet, but she looks some different than she did just a few weeks ago. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about half a dozen frames to fabricate, at which point we can finally secure the keel. And believe it or not, she will be ready for her true 5200 bottom. So that's where we are today on the 1946 Bright Chris-Craft U22. Thank you so much. Goodbye from Snake Mountain Boat Works.